Once upon a time, beyond the high mountains of Myra and the shimmering lakes of Eloria, there lay a small, forgotten village named Willowmere. Few maps carried its name anymore, and only the oldest travelers remembered its crooked lanes, mossy rooftops, and rose-covered gates. Yet, deep within the heart of this quiet village, hidden behind an ivy-covered wall and a rusted iron gate, was a secret known to none but one, an enchanted garden that whispered stories to those who listened. This was not an ordinary garden. The flowers sang when the wind blew, the trees danced with memories of the past, and the vines held on to secrets like threads of an old dream. But the garden had long grown silent, waiting, yearning, for the one who could hear its voice again. That one was Elia. Elia was a curious girl of 12 with tangled copper hair and eyes like the dawn, soft gold and bright with wonder. She lived with her grandmother, Maeve, in a cottage that smelled of dried lavender and old parchment. Maeve was the village herbalist, known for her tea blends and ancient tales that spun magic into the firelight. Elia spent her mornings gathering herbs, her afternoons sketching birds in her journal, and her evenings begging her grandmother for stories. And oh, how Maeve told them, of dragons who lived in moonbeams, of mermaids who could read stars, and of gardens that whispered forgotten songs. "Are the whispering gardens real, grandmother?" Elia asked one night, tucked beneath a quilt stitched with moons and vines. Maeve paused. Her eyes glinted with something both wistful and wary. "Some say they are. Some say they vanished when the world stopped believing in them. But if someone believed, really believed, would they come back?" Maeve smiled gently and kissed Elia's forehead. "Belief is a powerful thing, child. It can make the invisible real." One morning, as dew sparkled on cobwebs and birds sang secrets to the wind, Elia wandered farther than usual. A trail of silver butterflies, delicate as spun glass, lured her past the well and into an overgrown alleyway she'd never noticed before. There, hidden behind years of ivy and time, she found the iron gate. A soft humming drifted through it, low and melodic, like a lullaby whispered through leaves. Elia touched the gate. Warm. Alive. She pushed gently, and it creaked open, the vines slithering aside like curious serpents. Her breath caught. Inside was a garden like no other. Sunlight filtered through canopies of crystal-leaf trees. Flowers glowed in colors she had no names for, sapphire sunblossoms, moonshade orchids, and bellflowers that chimed like music. A brook wove through the garden, its water humming in harmonies. Faint voices floated on the air, soft and melodic. "Welcome," they whispered. "Elia." She stepped forward, heart pounding. You know my name?" The trees rustled in response, and petals danced at her feet. The air itself seemed to shimmer, and in that shimmer stood a figure. Tall, cloaked in silver and green, with eyes like polished amber. "I am Lysandra, guardian of the garden," said the figure with a bow. "You have awakened what has long slept." Elia blinked. "I didn't mean to disturb." "You did not disturb. You listened," Lysandra said, voice like rustling leaves. "This garden lives only when someone hears its call. And you heard. But what is this place?" "The Garden of Whispers," Lysandra replied. "It was once part of the living realms, lands where magic grew wild and stories bloomed like flowers. But when the world forgot the old ways, the garden faded into sleep. You, Elia, are the first in centuries to believe enough to open its gate." Elia's heart swelled with wonder. "Can I explore?" Lysandra nodded. "The garden welcomes you." Each day after her chores, Elia returned to the garden. She learned that each plant had a voice, a story to tell. The singing roses spoke of ancient queens who wore crowns of fire. The oak trees remembered battles fought beneath their branches. The lilac mist that drifted at twilight whispered lullabies from forgotten worlds. The garden taught her how to speak with birds and read the glows of star lilies that bloomed only when someone told the truth. She learned that moonfruit trees only bore fruit when a secret was shared under their boughs. One afternoon, Elia found a small creature, half fox, half owl, curled under a glowing fern. "Are you hurt?" she whispered. It blinked. "Just tired." The garden's magic, it returns slowly. Then rest, she said, tucking her scarf around it. The creature nuzzled her hand. You have the heart of a listener. But not all was well. One evening, the garden trembled beneath her feet. Shadows curled like smoke from the edges of the garden wall. Lysandra appeared beside her, her cloak darkened and her voice grim. The hollow is waking. What's the hollow? Elia asked. A realm where forgotten things go. Fears, broken promises, lies told too many times. When the garden bloomed, the hollow stayed dormant. But now, as the world grows colder and faith weakens, it stirs. Can we stop it? Lysandra hesitated. Perhaps. But it will not be easy. You must find the heartroot. What's that? The oldest tree in the garden. Its roots reach into every memory, every voice. It lies beyond the veil of echoes, guarded by illusions and trials. Only one who truly listens can find it. Elia took a breath. Then I'll go. Her journey began at dawn. The Vale of Echoes was a forest of mirrored trees. With each step, Elia saw reflections of her past, moments of laughter, fear, doubt. Some mirrors showed things she'd forgotten, the day her parents left for the city and never returned, her loneliness, her dreams she dared not voice. Do not run from them, a voice whispered. Embrace your story. She walked on, heart heavy but strong. At the edge of the vale stood a riddle-spinning wind, blocking her path. I turn once, what's out is in. I turn again. In the forgotten realm of Eloria, hidden beyond the mists of the world, magic was not a myth but the breath of life itself. The land shimmered with enchantment, crystal rivers whispered secrets, mountains floated lazily among the clouds, and ancient trees told stories older than time. At the center of this land stood the heart tree, a colossal white tree whose golden leaves never fell, pulsing with a heartbeat that kept the balance of magic alive. Every creature, from the smallest flicker mouse to the great WYRMS of the northern sky, drew power from its roots. But balance is a fragile thing. On the eve of the 13th moon, an unnatural silence swept across Eloria. The wind stilled. The river stopped whispering. The heart tree's glow dimmed, and with it, the magic of the realm began to fade. The cause? The Heartstone, the source of the tree's life, had been stolen. A prophecy long buried in the archives of Whisperreach foretold that when the Heartstone fell into shadow, only a soul born of fire and storm could reclaim it. That soul was a girl named Kaelin. Kaelin Stormrider was no hero. At 16, she lived in the quiet village of Elwyn Hollow, raised by her grandmother, Mira, the local herb witch. Kaelin's days were spent gathering moonflowers, mixing healing balms, and tending to a stubborn goat named Crim. But she had always known she was different. When she grew angry, thunderstorms would crackle in her veins. When she wept, rain clouds formed above her. Magic flowed through her like a wild river, untamed and relentless. The morning after the heart tree dimmed, the skies turned red, and Kaelin awoke to a voice whispering in her dreams, "The Heartstone has been taken. The realm fades. You are the last light." Terrified and confused, Kaelin confided in her grandmother. Mira, pale with fear, led her into the hidden chamber beneath their cottage, a place Kaelin had never been allowed to see. There, glowing softly under glass, was an old scroll bound in roots. Mira unrolled it. "This is the prophecy of flame. It speaks of you." Kaelin read the words, her hands trembling. Born of lightning, carved from storm. She walks between the fire and form. When heart's light fades and shadows rise, she shall reclaim the stolen skies. Kaelin shook her head. "This isn't real. I'm just a village girl." "No," Mira said gently. "You are the Stormrider. And the realm needs you." The journey began with a single step, toward the Skyforge Mountains, where the Sentinels of Flame guarded the secret path to the Lost Vale, the last known location of the Heartstone. Mira gave Kaelin a satchel filled with herbs, an ancient compass that pointed to magic, and a silver dagger that once belonged to Kaelin's mother, a warrior who died protecting Eloria. I wish I could come with you, Mira whispered.